What's up, everybody? This is Oakland Latinos United, aka Oakland Latinos Unidos. This is Jose, once again, with a new video for you to enjoy. I'm out here in Vallejo, California, V-Town, 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 Vallejo, California. Actually, I come and kick it in Vallejo all the time. I got folks out here. I used to live out here for a minute. And I know Vallejo pretty well, you know what I mean? I know the Crest Side, the Hillside, Central, West Side, Briggside, Millerville, all that shit. I know Vallejo pretty well. I come out here a lot. But being that said, what am I doing in Vallejo? Why am I not in Oakland if I'm Oakland Latinos United? Well, I was talking to somebody the other day. I don't know if you guys maybe know him on Facebook. His name is Bay Area Memes. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, so I'll just say Bay Area Memes. I got to know homeboy. He makes funny memes about the Bay Area. He's a Bay Area native like me, born and raised in the Bay. And, like me, he's starting to see the culture of the Bay Area change due to gentrification and due to people being priced out. You know what I mean? The culture that made the Bay Area what it is. And I'm not just talking about rich culture or hippie culture. I'm talking about the working class culture, you know what I mean? The black and brown culture, Chicano culture, and Asian cultures, and various that made the Bay Area what it is. You know what I mean? I grew up in the 80s and 90s, like I said before. I grew up during a time when the Bay had its own identity, and the Bay Area was innovating a lot of things. You know, the movement of Bay Area hip-hop and rap was growing. You know, Too Short, Dangerous Game, 415, you know what I mean? Chicanos like Funky Aztecs, Darkroom Familia, you know what I mean? And various others, Aslan Nation, to name a few. And, I grew up in the Bay back in the days in a working class environment. You know what I mean? And the Bay Area has a long history of a lot of things. It has the longest history of artists. You know, it has a longer history of movements. You know, of radicalism, you know what I mean, of social justice movements, and you name it, it has it, you know what I mean. The Bay Area has been innovative in many things, and, it's just changing. A lot of it is changing, and it's not starting to feel the same no more. It's starting to feel like almost an alien culture, you know what I mean. Now it's, hipster culture, SJW culture, tech culture, all these people moving in from other places. And I kind of feel like a lot of these people that move here, they're kind of disconnected to what the culture is of the Bay. You know what I mean? But the culture that we grew up in, the culture that we made for ourselves in many ways here. I grew up what I would call the Chicano, Latino, working class kind of culture, at least for me. You know what I mean? But I grew up around blacks, I grew up around whites, I grew up around Asians, and I grew up around basically working class people. If it almost feels like you have to come to places like Vallejo, where I'm at right now, to still see a little bit of the old school Bay Area, to get that feel. Richmond still kind of has it, Vallejo still kind of has it, Antioch still has it, Concord still has it, even Fairfield, because people are being driven out to these places, because they can't afford to live in Oakland or San Francisco or in San Jose or, in a lot of cities in the Bay. Some places in Oakland still feel like old school old school Oakland. Some places in Frisco and San Francisco, like Hunters Point, some of the outer Mission still kind of feels like old school San Francisco, but a lot of it just is so fucking different. A lot of Oakland is so different too, West Oakland, some parts of the East, even Fruitvale's changing, you know what I mean? And, the stuff I grew up around, the lowriders, the sideshows, Mac Dre, MC Hammer, Too Short, even shit, growing up around Norteños, Sureños, and Border Brothers, even that changed, the crack dealers and shit. But, some of it was bad and some of it I don't miss, but some of it I do, just this kind of hardcore culture that the Bay Area is about. It seems like it's disappearing. And I hear the same thing is happening in places like Los Angeles and New York, in Chicago, and in many cities where gentrification is starting to happen. But it's definitely happening in the Bay Area. And those of us who grew up here, who can't afford to live here, we know what the fuck time it is. You know what I mean? We know that a lot of these motherfuckers that move out here do not give a flying fuck about us and do not want us here and could care less if we're living under a fucking bridge dying. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, fuck those motherfuckers. A lot of them that are gentrifying, I have no love for them, A lot of these rich motherfuckers, these people that have hella money and don't give a flying fuck. And hey, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with making money, but it's just, it's just capitalism. That's all it is. That's just the fucking reality of it. You know what I mean? It's crazy that in some places that used to be the hood, now you can't even afford to stay in. You know what I mean? It now $1 million homes that was the barrio or the hood a year ago. You know what I mean? Literally. So, yeah, it's just kind of like a rant. Like, I'm in Vallejo because I like being out here sometimes because it just feels like the old school Bay Area. For those who don't know, that's Mare Island over there. This is the waterfront, I'm a motherfucking Bay Area native. I know a lot of places in the Bay Area. I don't just know Oakland. I know a lot of shit. I know Hayward. I know San Leandro. I know Frisco. I know Vallejo, Richmond, Concord, Antioch, Pittsburgh. I know a lot of places. Fairfield, Sacramento, even though that's not the Bay, but I know Sacramento. I know Stockton. I know a lot of Northern Cali. You feel me? But yeah, like I was telling you, I was talking to this dude. He makes a page called Bay Area Memes. Look it up, Bay Area Memes. He makes a lot of funny shit. And if you grew up in the Bay Area, chances are you're going to get it. But he's on Facebook, Bay Area Memes. On Instagram, Bay Area Memes. Look him up. But I was talking to him the other day, and we were talking about the old school culture of the Bay Area. Not necessarily this new hipster, trendy, fucking, tech culture, you know what I mean? He said one thing that really stuck to me. I miss the days when people cared more about Mac Dre than about Steve Jobs. You know what I mean? That's literally what he said. And I could kind of feel what he was talking about. You know what I mean? But I miss, the stuff I grew up around, my home. This is my home, regardless of what's happening. This is my motherfucking home. This is where I'm from. See those beautiful mountains? You see that beautiful bay over there? That's where I'm from. You know what I mean? No, I'm not from Vallejo, but basically, this, I grew up around all this shit. You know what I mean? And to me, all of it feels like home at the end of the day. Because I'm from the Bay. That's where I'm from. I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to die in this motherfucker, and I'm going to be buried in this motherfucker. And that's just how it is. You know what I mean? I refuse to leave, And, yeah. Like I said, chilling in Vallejo. Had a beautiful day out here. Ate at Bugs Burger. You know what I mean? Those of you who know Vallejo know where that's at. You feel me? But, yeah, I was chilling all day in Vallejo, kicking back. I got a few homies out here. One love to Milo and Arturo out there. You niggas know me. But, out there on the south side. But, yeah, man, it just bums me out that the culture, the working class and poor people, and even the working middle class culture of the Bay Area is dying out and disappearing. And who knows what's going to happen in the Bay if shit don't change soon, man. It's just going to be techies, rich fuckers, and disconnected people to reality, I say. And yeah, I'm on YouTube ranting. And yeah, the tech industry did create YouTube. And I understand that, Instagram and all that. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong with having companies. It's just something wrong when money comes over people and lives. You know what I mean? And that's basically what's happening in the Bay Area. And it's happening all over the United States in almost every major city. Look it up if you don't believe me. But yeah, that's about it. This Jose with Oakland Latinos United. Vallejo Latinos United today, to be truthfully honest with you, because I'm out in the V-Town, home of N2 DP40, Mac Dre, Funky Aztecs. You know it, Baby Bash. So many that came out of the city, for sure. So I'll talk to you guys later. Late.